guys, so today I'm going to show you how I got my face base using minimal products, and everything I use on my face today has been from the drugstore apart from my eyes, which is going to be in another tutorial, the next one I post actually. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and if you want to see how I did this, then keep on watching. Hi, I'm back with another video after about, I don't know, like a year, 11 months after saying that I was going to post a video once or twice a week. I'm going to be trying to upload a video, or at least 2 videos a week. We'll see how it goes. Here I am, 11 months later. So I thought that I would do just like a fun little video about how I do my face. Cool. So first off, I'm going to start with this Mary Kay Botanical Effects Freshener. It's basically a toner without the alcohol. I like to use this as a pre-primer. So I'll push back my curls, and I'll just like press that into my skin. It makes my skin very tacky if I use it this way. Can we talk about how like weird this is? How my curls on this side are like completely different from this side? Anyways, then I'm gonna take this Blur Primer Selfie Approved by Hard Candy. So I'm going to take this and put a little bit on my hands, like literally just the tiniest amount. Rub it together and put it mostly where I have a lot of acne, just like so. Kitten! Now I have fur all over my hands. And I'm going to take my e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer, just literally the tiniest amount. And I'm going to put that on my acne, because I find throughout the day my acne gets super dry. And this kind of prevents that. And while I was waiting for that to sink in, I pushed my bangs back, which might look a little bit crazy. And I wet my beauty blender. So for foundation, I'm going to be taking this Infallible Total Cover Full Coverage Weightless Feel by L'Oreal. And I'm going to take it on my little thing here and put probably just that much to start off with. And then with my beauty blender, taking a little bit on the end and just start bouncing that in. And one thing I really like about this foundation is the fact that it is totally weightless. Like, I could literally put on layers and layers of it and I won't feel it. Like, it's like nothing is there at all, which is something I really like in a foundation, because then I feel like my pores aren't totally clogged up. And now, the reason why I went like this when I said it was full coverage is because it doesn't really cover any of my scarring. And I really hate watching YouTubers who test out full coverage and then they say, oh yeah, it's super full coverage, and then I go out and buy it, but their skin is basically perfect. And mine is like nowhere near to perfect. So I stopped listening to beauty gurus who have like super nice skin, who are talking about full coverage, because the things that they're trying to cover are very different from what I'm trying to cover. Like, typically they're trying to cover up redness and I'm trying to cover up redness, scars, and acne. I'm just going to take a little bit more because that was not enough. And I'm going to go over my problem areas. I don't really care about like some of the scarring on my forehead because I feel like it's not that crazy, but it's really just like my cheeks that I hate. I'm just gonna go over very lightly where I have like super bad scarring, just on the back. And I'm literally gonna let that sit for like half a minute so that it can kind of just set a little bit, and then I'll just lightly blend it in. Now that this is sat for a little bit, I'm just going to lightly buff it in. Sometimes I feel like with this foundation too, instead of just like pouncing, if you do like little swipe motions, it does cover up just a little bit more. Next I'm going to be taking some concealer. This concealer definitely isn't my shade in the slightest bit. It's in light. You can't see that, but it's in light. It's very, very light compared to my skin tone, but I feel if I really blend it in to my foundation, it works out pretty fine and I don't get any flashback. So I'm going to take a little bit, which is on here. This is the True Match Super Blendable Multi-Use Concealer by L'Oreal Paris. I'm just going to go just a little bit under the eyes, like that. Kind of focusing most of the product in my inner corner because that's where I get the most darkness. And then just a little bit right there. A little boop right there. Right there. And maybe like 3 dots on my forehead. Or should I make a triangle? Triangle. Illuminati. And then I'm going to take this new brush that I just got. It's one of my favorites. It's by e.l.f. and it's their Flawless Concealer Brush. And it's like this. It's a little bit flat on both of these ends, but it's extremely fluffy. And so I'm just going to slowly blend this in with packing / swiping and blending up into my eyelid. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender and just go over everything I just blended out to make sure that it blends just like flawlessly. And you see what I mean? Like it looks way too light, but then I blend it in, looks perfect. So I just went ahead and blended everything out, doing the same steps using that e.l.f. brush and then going through with my beauty blender with excess product. And next I'm going to do my eyebrows. So I just brush them up like this. And I go underneath the brow, sketching out the bottom, and then run the spoolie through and blend everything up. I used to do some pretty intense brows, but now I try to keep it pretty natural because my brows have been filling in a lot more. They used to be pretty sparse, and just slowly blending through, and that's a brow. And if you look, I like to keep it pretty similar to how my brows are already. I don't like them to be super bold anymore. And same steps with the other side. For some reason, this side is always darker. And I don't really care if I mess up underneath because the next step is to clean it up with some more of that concealer. I'm going to take this lip / concealer brush from the Body Shop. And I'm just going to take an itsy bitsy little bit. Ooh, and just clean up just ever so slightly. And then I'll go back in with that e.l.f. concealer brush and kind of blend that away, making sure to blend downwards. I'm going to take this e.l.f. clear brow / mascara gel. I'm just going to run this through my eyebrows, brushing upwards, being very light with it. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Fit Me Matte Poreless pressed powder in 230 Natural Buff, and just quickly taking my concealer brush and getting rid of any creasing. And then I'm going to take this brush. I actually got this set for like $7 from wish.com, and I'm going to go in here and just go under my eyes. And just set my under eyes. This also brightens my under eyes as well. I'm also going to take that same powder on basically my T-zone. So upper lip, smile lines, and chin. And slightly nose. Any excess powder I'm going to take over my nose. And you know what? I don't usually go on like right here, but might as well do there too, very, very lightly. And then I'm going to take, this is literally my new favorite thing. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in Medium Deep. I've literally, like, these both are brand new to me. Like, not using something that's translucent on my face, but I found that translucent things on my skin tone end up looking gray, and I look like a goddamn mess. And this one is like the color of my skin tone. So I take that on a big fluffy brush of the same set I got from Wish and just lightly go over the rest of my face. I kind of want like a dewy face today, so I'm not going for like full matte. Down my neck and forehead. Now looking at my face right now, I feel like I could probably leave it at this and then, you know, I don't really need to contour, but I do enjoy, instead of contouring, to blush these days. So I take this Perfect Blush by Annabelle in the shade Golden Bronze with my Mary Kay Mineral Foundation. Just a little bit, because this is highly pigmented. And I just go on the apples of the cheek all the way back. And I feel like with these kinds of shades, this works because it's not like super pink. So it works slightly as a contour. On the other side, whatever's left over on my chin, on my nose, and in my hairline to kind of bring some life back to my face. Like that. So I'm going to take this Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in this shade. I don't know what shade, but it looks like this. I'm going to take it on my Crease Shadow Brush by Joe Fresh, Superstore, what? And with this product, you want to be super, super, super gentle going into the pan. So literally, I'm going to show you. Super quick. 1, 2. Then I'm going to start right here and work my way down. I used to be really big into like the Nikki Tutorials blinding highlighter, but I feel like with my face it doesn't look the best, or maybe it was like my technique. You see that? So this is the side that gives like a really natural glow. For my skin tone, this one does. And the other side. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger and go right here. I don't really like to go on my Cupid's bow because you're not going to see it when I put on lipstick, but I do like to take a little bit on my chin, in the middle of my forehead. Really blend in this one.